Well, here we go, y'all. Increasing temperatures mean we need to start preparing for our yearly stretch of dry and hot when it comes to our gardens. Plant pro Xander Caruso from Barton Springs Nursery is here to give us some education per usual this morning. Xander, good to see you.
Good to see you too.
Let's talk about it. Okay, the first thing we want to touch on today, and we're talking about two different types of plants that can stand the summer heat. The first one is continual bloomers, heat tolerant.
Yeah, so here we've got a Tacoma stans. This is like a dwarf kind called Red Hot. Really cute, small blooms. It's not the typical yellow bell is another word for them that you see all over town.
It's really cute.
Up here we got the Pride of Barbados. These guys, this is like the biggest one I could find. They don't get really big until it's really, really hot.
It's a little guy.
They really need 90 to 100 to metabolize properly and get big and bloom.
How big will it get? Because I'm touching a teensy little stem right now.
They can get, I've seen some that are like 8 feet tall.
Whoa!
Yeah, they get pretty big.
Because they look like it would be in Jurassic Park.
Yeah,
it's been around for a while, maybe.
Yeah. And then another P family member we have over here is the fairy duster, which is just a really great, cute little. I think this one is a cross between one that's native in Nevada and Arizona. Just super, super heat tolerant.
Can I touch the little pom-pom or will it stick me?
You can.
Okay, all right, because I've already accidentally gotten myself a splinter today from these plants, y'all. All right, let's talk about some care for them. Mulch is a good thing.
Yes, so I would say when peak summer comes around, when you're working with more, I don't know how to describe them other than not cacti or agave, but these flowering ones I just mentioned, you want to mulch in. You want to use liquid seaweed on everything that you can. Liquid seaweed is a 000 or 0.1 on its NPK, and those are the macronutrients.
So basically, nitrogen, phosphorus, and then potassium.
Yes,
right?
You got
it.
Yeah. The 000, you'd think, why would I put this on a plant if it has no macronutrients? The goal is not to get it to grow during the summer. It causes a lot of heat stress. It stunts them. It's really not good for them. But you're giving it micronutrients it needs to bolster its cell walls and make it through the intense heat. And you can also, too, use it in the winter. But heat, you really want to use liquid seaweed. Liquid
seaweed, really good for those heat-tolerant but continual blooming plants. Yeah. And another one that you did bring here for us today was that
little Blackfoot daisy.
It's super cute. Okay, now we're talking xeric options. Yes. And will you remind me, starts with an X, very few words do.
Yes. So a lot of these plants are in xerics, like especially this fairy duster, the Tacoma stans. Xeric just meaning more deserty, for a lack of a better word.
Deserty,
Plants
I love it.
That grow out in really harsh conditions, usually with really poor soils. So when I hear xeric, I typically think of all kinds of cacti. I've got this royal flush agave back here. The Hesperella, which is a classic. You cannot kill this plant. It works everywhere. This is a really fantastic
It's really pretty.
It's really gorgeous.
Yeah.
Spineless prickly pear, a classic.
Tiny little spines, though. That's what gave me. I was like, ooh! I got a little splinter.
And then here on this end is the Yucca rostrata, the beaked Yucca rostrata. Sure. Those are those really tall. There's some old ones around town that are probably like 20, 30 feet tall.
Yeah.
They're a giant yucca. Native to West Texas, super cold tolerant, super heat tolerant. Here they get a little more rainfall, so they get a lot bigger than out in West Texas.
Gotcha. Okay, so liquid seaweed, again, usable there. I didn't know it was such a useful item, but we're kind of doing the opposite with mulch.
Yes, I would say you can use some kind of, depending on which one of these you pick, you can use mulch. I usually say go with something like put this in a rock bed or some kind of decomposed granite or expanded shale on top and in the soil as well, just to have good drainage. Newly planted, what I'll call xerics, are going to still need water to get through that first summer. Second summer, you'll still keep watering up just a little bit more, and then usually they're good to go after that point. But always, always, always keep an eye on the rain. If we don't have rain through the summers, you will still need to come out and water all of these guys.
You're still going to have to water a cactus.
We are just so hot that it is pretty much impossible to just plant something in the ground and expect it to live perfectly fine the year that you plant it.
Good to know. And we've got to go real quickly, so just wanted you to mention cactus fertilizer.
Yes, there are some cactus fertilizers out there, but they're not entirely necessary. Cacti are native to and evolved in places with really poor soils, so they don't need a ton of macronutrients.
Okay, BartonSpringsNursery.com, y'all. That's where you can learn more.